All right, so today we're going to be talking about how to manage and organize your email. So the points of the presentation are going to be why it's important to check your Outlook email, how often do you check your email, how to best manage your email, kind of like the email basics, like things you may not know, like what Outlook has to offer, and then kind of a step-by-step walkthrough of what those email basics look like and how you can utilize them. So, why it's important to manage and organize your school email. So, the three biggest points: be up to date with assignments and classes, respond to emails in a timely manner, and it prevents clutter. So, your email is going to be your main form of communication between professors, your peers, your student organizations in the university. These emails might look like assignments getting changed, classes being canceled, or professors may want to follow up with you with certain things. And so, it's important that you, going to the third point, prevent clutter and organize your email in a way where you can respond attentively to their messages. And so the second point says respond to emails in a timely manner. You are expecting your professors to answer your emails in a timely manner, so it's a responsibility to reply to them in the same way. And by doing this, or to help you do this, you can create folders, categories, and setting up automated rules to help you form those folders and categories, and also flag emails as reminders to check those emails. And those like four little things can also help you like prioritize your emails so you know what to focus on now and what maybe you can refer back to later. So, how often to check your school email? So, what time of the day? Best time of the day to do this is in the morning. Like when you're getting ready to start on all your schoolwork or your work stuff or whatever other responsibilities you have, it's best to check your email first just to see if there's been any changes to an assignment that you have to do or just like a change in schedule. Definitely try to check it also in the afternoon because, like my second point says, how many times a day to check, it's best to do at least twice. And better not to check it when you're about to put everything away. Like, definitely check it maybe a couple hours before you're picking up your stuff, just so that you can respond to some more immediate emails. And back to the how many times a day, I did say like on the weekends, check at least once a day. Just because your professors may need to reach out to about a class change, or the university might give you some important information on something going on around campus. So check it at least once a day on the weekends. And with that, having email boundaries is important because don't feel pressured to check your email like every hour. It doesn't need to be your social media, like things. It's okay to take your time with responding to certain emails. So at least if you're at least getting those 2 times a day, you should be good. And it's mentioned that you don't have to check it first thing in the morning. Like, give yourself some time to get ready for the day. You don't need to stress yourself out by like opening your eyes, waking up, and then immediately hopping on your Outlook email. Like, as long as it's the first thing you do before starting schoolwork, work stuff. And kind of some email expectations. Allow your professors about a 48-hour business day, um, like grace period to respond to your email. And most of the time, too, your professors may have their email expectations or response expectations in their syllabus. So definitely check that out and see like kind of what their preference is, because some may say 24 hours. But I want to emphasize on the business day. So if you email them on a Friday, that doesn't mean they're going to email Sunday. That might mean Tuesday, because that's kind of you giving them the Friday if you email in the morning, all of Monday, and then Tuesday would be like that kind of period. And like I mentioned, yeah, they may not answer the email over the weekend, so you might have to wait a little longer if you email closer to that time. And then follow-up emails. It is okay to send up a follow-up email, but that means not sending a follow-up email the next day. Give them that 48-hour business day grace period, and also maybe a week if it's not like an urgent answer you're trying to get back. And like also emphasizing like ask your questions ahead of time if it is an assignment question or a exam question, just so that they have enough time to respond to that in the best way that they can. And so best practices to manage your email. So these are like kind of the 5 Ds of email management: delete it, do it, delegate it, deposit it, and defer it. So deleting it. If you don't need it, delete it. And I say this with caution. Definitely check your emails before you delete them, because they may seem like a generic kind of everybody gets an email, but it may actually apply to you. So you don't want to delete something that's actually really important. So read all the emails you receive from your professors, from your university, from your student organizations. But also don't be afraid, like if it is something that you just don't need in your email, don't be afraid to delete it. Because that could really build up on the clutter of having just stuff that's unnecessary in your Outlook. And then the next point is do it. So identify the emails that you can answer in less than 2 minutes. So if you have the time to sit there, be present with your email, like make sure you get the ones that you can get done, just so it's like less to have to remind yourself in the future, less to look at. It just kind of helps with that declutter method. So delegate it. This can kind of refer more to work or maybe group projects in school. Is this something that someone else could be doing? So is this something that your presentation partner can help you out with? Like, could you refer to that question to them? Or just different work tasks. If someone's emailing you from an outside source, like, can you delegate that question to someone else? And then deposit it. So this is really when you can get your folders and categories in handy. You can move certain emails to the folders that you've created, which we are going to go over how to create folders in this presentation, so that every email that you receive isn't in one inbox. Like you can easily go to the spot, like the designated spot for the email, and you can see it easily, respond to it easier, all that stuff. And then deferring your email. So this is for emails that you can save for later. And we're going to talk about later in the presentation, flagging your emails is the best way to get those reminders so that you know to get it done in the future. Because if you just kind of read the email and then don't do anything with it, most likely you're going to forget about the email. So you want to set those reminders. So email basics. So in Outlook, you can create folders, and these allow you to organize and group files in specific locations so you'll know how to find them. These folders will help you prioritize your emails, and you can make folders for what to do, follow-ups, laters, and kind of the default examples of folders in your Outlook email that you'll see are like the drafts, the sent mail, priority, spam. And these folders could also look like setting a folder for each of your classes, setting a folder just for general university information, setting a folder for just your student organization information, just so like you don't have your classes and your clubs all sending you emails in one spot, because that could just get all meshed together and get really confusing and overwhelming quickly. And then these email categories, so kind of like within your folders, you can assign color codes to specific emails that you receive to kind of tell them apart, and you can easily scan them and identify what email belongs to what, especially like if it's priority. So you can see quickly what emails should be at your highest priority to look at and what could be kind of saved for later to defer. Some more email basics, automated rules. So instead of organizing emails one by one into folders as you receive them, you can actually set up rules for the incoming emails to be sent to your folders automatically. And again, we'll go over that in this presentation as well on how to do that. But that just helps you save a lot of time and a lot of energy because it's just going to be done for you. So like the decluttering process becomes a lot easier. And then flagging your emails. This is mainly for setting your emails as a reminder so that you can refer back to them, and like you don't have to keep it in your calendar somewhere to go check your email again. Like once you open your email, it'll be there and like in your face to be like, hey, don't forget about me, kind of thing. And again, when we'll talk about this more in the presentation, you can set when you'd like it to be reminded back to you. So like the next day, a week from now. And then here's a fun little meme so we can learn how to manage those emails. So now we're going to get to the step-by-step part of everything. So this is how we can create folders. So I have little pictures on the side here to kind of help you out. On the left-hand side of your navigation bar, you're going to find the folders tab, and then you'll see those default folders there for you that Outlook kind of already has. So once you select the folders tab, you'll see right at the bottom of your last folder, there's an option to press new folder. And then you can name your new folder in that little text box that comes up. and then it'll just appear with the rest of them, and you'll be able to see that laid out for you. So there's also a thing where you can create subfolders. So say you have multiple student organizations. So you can do those first couple of steps and make a folder called student organizations. And then if you're part of multiple, you can create like the different names for each. If you're in a sorority, if you're in an academic club, and then have those named, and then create subfolders within the student org main folder. And so you can either do this by right-clicking that main folder and just adding the different organizations underneath, or you can keep creating folders and dragging those names on top of the main folder, and it'll just like automatically make them into subfolders. Okay, and then this is creating categories. So on the inbox tab, they have, if you click on an email, a categorize button will pop up, and it may not say categorize, it may just have that like price tag looking symbol, but that's the same thing. So you can press that, and then this drop down menu will pop up. And so depending on what your preference is, you could either go based off the categories they already have as a default, and you can, if you want to edit the name and color, you can press manage categories and go from there. Or if you want to start completely from scratch, just press new category and you can name it, color code it, and it's right there for you. And then to apply that category that you created, you're going to click on the email you want that category applied to, and then you're going to click the category button again, and then you should see your category that you created in that drop down menu, and you just press it and it's been applied. All right, now for automated rules to have your email organize all those emails in the folders for you, so you don't really have to have any thought behind it, and it just does it, and you can just open your email and it's already organized and beautiful. So you're going to right click on an email, and in that drop down menu, click rules and then create rule. A pop-up will appear with a few different options, and you can decide like to have folders set with specific words or phrases, and whatever email that comes in with those specific words and phrases, it'll get sent straight to that that folder. So say if you want to set, hey, any emails from this specific organization, like if it says insert sorority name, whatever sorority name, any emails from that sorority name will go straight to that sorority folder. And so next, select the folder it will go to by ticking the move the item, or clicking the move the item to folder box, and then click on select folder to choose which one, and then press OK to apply the new rule. So flagging emails, like I said before, this is mainly for you and just setting reminders for yourself. So what do you, like there's a little flag right next, like on the edge of all your emails. And if you want to flag it for a reminder later, just press it and it'll turn red. To set a certain time you'd like to be reminded for it, just right click on that red flag, and a drop down menu will appear, and you can choose when you want it to be reminded. And then once you've done the task, if you've looked at the email, if it's been addressed, you can click the flag again and it'll like make a little check mark instead of the flag. Or you can just, in the drop down menu, there is an option to press mark complete. It's the same thing, a check mark will appear. And if you've either flagged an email by mistake or if you've marked it complete by mistake, if you just bring up that drop down menu again, there is an option to press clear flag and it'll get rid of the flagged email for you. And then this is just a reminder, like school can be tough, so don't let your emails get in the way of your success. Hopefully reminding you of these tools will help you declutter your email, keep your things more organized, because I know a lot of students have a lot of different things other than just classes. There's a lot going on within the university. So yeah, I hope that this presentation helped you and that you can move forward by answering your emails in a timely manner, keeping track of all your emails, and so that nothing gets lost and you can always be up to date. So if you need any more help, there's a lot more workshops and resources on your Student Success Canvas page, and you can follow us on Instagram and TikTok. for more tips. And here's some references if you want a little bit more detail on Outlook information. These links will also be on the Student Success Canvas page. So you can go to it directly. Have a great day.